Hey guys, what's up? How are you? Hope that you guys are having an amazing one today. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Gerel. Excuse the hair, I'm just trying to create some volume. If you know, you know. But in today's video, we are going to be doing the so famous TikTok viral latte makeup. I pulled out some of the makeup that I am still trying out and some products that are not so new. So I am going to have everything linked and down below just in case you guys are interested. Whenever you guys do use my links, they are affiliated and it goes back to my channel. So I really do appreciate it whenever you guys do use my links. And we also have some questions that you guys asked me on my community tab as well as Instagram. I don't think that there is any questions on Instagram, but I will check again just in case there is any questions that you guys wanted to know. So this is going to be like a little get ready with me trying the latte makeup and also answering some of your questions. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, please don't forget to like and of course subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And you can also click on the little bell that will notify you whenever I upload a new video, which is every single week. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so I brought you in a little closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. The first thing that I'm going to do is moisturize my face. Even though I feel like I am sweaty, I still need to moisturize my skin. So I am going to be using this moisturizer from Drunk Elephant, but the new thing that I'm going to be using is this one right here, which is called the B-Goldi Bright Drops. So it does have 5% of niacinamide, which from what I understand and what my research have led me to believe is that it's really good, especially if you have like sunspots or any discoloration, any signs of aging on your skin. So I am going to shake it a little bit, and again, the way that I have been seeing being used, and that's the way that I want to use it today because I don't want to add it on top of my makeup. I actually want it to be under my makeup and I want to be like really nice and golden and bronzy, you know, the latte makeups. And I'm going to mix it here, and now I'm just going to moisturize my skin as I usually do. So it is definitely giving me a really nice subtle glow. It's not too much. And the moisturizer from Drunk Elephant, this one right here, it's really good, especially for daytime. It's not too heavy, so I really do like it as well for my daytime routine. Let me just add a little bit more to see if it makes any difference to the very high points of my cheeks. Oh yeah, that does make a difference. Can you see that? Feels really nice and refreshing, like cooling sensation on your skin, which is also very, very nice, especially with this heat. Like, who does not like that? So I bought this one myself, and it is the D-Bronzi Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. I am going to just add a little bit of that to the back of my hands and just add it to where I would, you know, get a little bit of more sun, which is on my forehead. Come on, hairs. I don't know why I never used this one. It's just been sitting there for some reason and I just haven't pulled it out. But I'm just going to add a little bit of that, and you can definitely see that it gives you a really nice, beautiful color. And the brush that I'm using is the BK Beauty 101, and I procrastinated to buy any BK Beauties for a very, very long time just because they are very expensive. But I'm glad that I did because they are really, really fantastic. All right, for a skin tint or a foundation, I am going to be using this one right here from Hourglass, and this one is so good, so good. It is called the Voile Hydrating Skin Tint, and I do have mine in the shade 10. I wish that it was not so neutral because it does lean a little bit pink, so maybe going up a shade would have been a lot better, but still so good. All right, so I checked on my community tab and I do have some questions on my community tab, so let's go ahead and start with those. The first question is, when you're not filming, what is your signature makeup? So whenever I am not filming, I am going to continue on just testing out some products. So I usually like really gravitate towards the newer products in my collection just because I want to be like well-rounded and I want to make sure that I'm giving you like a really 100% honest review or just update on any of the products that I do have. I guess I would say that it's really light. It's nothing too much, especially super light on the eyes, just because I don't have the time to sit down and to like create a whole entire look. I really just save those moments to film just to give you guys inspiration, especially if you do have those times. And I also try to keep it light on the face, but I always end up with a lot of blush because I absolutely love that look. And yeah, always lip gloss, nothing too much. But if I do have plans with like my mom or my cousins, my sisters, or my friends, then I take a little bit more time to be a little bit more creative. And usually I try to film those moments just because, you know, I take it as an opportunity to share with you guys. But yeah, thank you for the question. So the next question says, how do you choose your blush and highlighter to go with your eye look? They always look so cohesive, and that's one of the hardest parts for me. So the way that I do it is if I am going to be using something warm on my crease, then I'm definitely going to be using a warm blush. And I'm also going to be using a warm highlighter. So something a little bit more on the golden side, something that is a little less icy and more on the warm side. And that's the way that I do it. It always works out for me. For example, if I'm going to be using like purple shadows, if it's leaning a little bit more cool, I am going to go towards a pink blush. And then I'm going to also just stick with a kind of iridescence or maybe a little bit more icy of a highlighter. But if I'm doing the same purple look and I want to bring it, like ground it a little bit more and just bring a little bit warmth to my cheeks, just so it doesn't look too much of a cool tone look altogether, I will use more of a terracotta, like brownish kind of a blush to my cheeks, and then I will pair a highlighter that goes with that. So a little bit more on the neutral side, something that is a little bit more clear. And if I do feel like I am struggling to match things, I just use a little bit of my blush, whatever blush it is, and I just stick it a little bit on the crease, and that usually like brings the whole entire look together. So I hope that that is helpful. So I'm just going to blend this out now. So the next question that I have, two questions in one. It says, if you are open to a non-makeup question, you mentioned a few years back that you are originally from New York and you moved to Florida. How was the transition for you? I'm looking to relocate from New York in the next 1 to 2 years. And the second question is, when did you start getting into makeup? What was your inspiration? Wow. So I did live in New York, but I'm not from New York. I did live in New York, and I lived in New York only for 3 years. I might have mentioned that in a long time video. A long time ago. I moved when I was 22 and I came back when I was 25. So I lived there for 3 years, and I live in Queens, but I am originally born and raised in Peru. I was raised there until I was 11 years old, and then I came to Florida, lived with my parents. When I turned 22, I lived in New York for 3 years, and then I came back because New York was just not for me, even though I absolutely love New York so much, and I wish that I can just go back and visit. But let me tell you, I mean, so the transition from moving to Florida to New York and to New York to Florida, girl, that was like it was hectic, but I was younger, and I was just like, I was just going with the flow, you know, wherever I just needed to be or where I felt more comfortable. New York, during those times, during those years, they were really sad years, just because I was away from my mom, from my sisters, from, you know, everything that I actually knew. And I lived in Florida again since I was 11, and then, you know, 11 years later I moved to New York, and it was a hectic moment in my life, but it was an experience as well. Now, if you are thinking of doing that as a grown woman now, it's going to be completely different. Like if I was to move to another state, it requires more planning, making sure that I am financially stable. You know, I will think of making sure that I have a place that I'm going to rent or buy. And of course, having a job is super important, especially if you decide to move, and having any like money saved up just in case, you know, having a little bit of cushion, it always is very important. But if you already have family members in this state that are willing to help you, you know, and you have a different reason of why you're deciding to move, whether it's the weather, it's too expensive, because New York is expensive. Maybe you can ask your family members to also help you if you have good friends. Also ask for that help, because you never know, you know, if you don't ask, you're never going to find out. Know that the transition is not going to be easy. It is going to be, you know, something that you need to adjust to. If you're moving to Florida, it is definitely going to be a huge change, because you are not going to be able to see the seasons. It is super hot here, but it is a nice place to live. I absolutely love Florida, and comparing it to New York, money wise, it is definitely more affordable. So your second question was, how did I get into makeup, or what was my inspiration? And pretty much was just trying to find myself again. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I definitely felt like I was lost. That's exactly how I can explain it. I mean, I felt like I was lost. I felt like I didn't know my identity. I didn't know how to act anymore. It felt really weird because I knew that it was me, but I also needed to make some changes in my life. Like I couldn't go, you know, and party all the time. I wasn't going to be hanging out with my friends, you know, just in and out of the house like I was, because now I have this little person living inside of me, depending on me. And I was living with my boyfriend, who is now my husband. And we just, you know, we were becoming parents and we needed to be responsible. So I needed to make adjustments in my life. And because I felt like I lost my identity, I felt like I lost who I was, because I was now trying to change into and transition into this motherhood that nobody trains you for, that now you're going to be responsible for this little kid. And at the same time, like, am I just going to be a mom forever? And that is it, that is just my title, a mom. So I stopped doing a lot of stuff, and through all of those searches, I'm just, you know, trying to mold myself and trying to find things that I could really enjoy and do from home, and that I can, you know, really experience or teach myself. Found myself in makeup. I absolutely fell in love how you can transform yourself and just feel so much better when you have a little bit of makeup on. And I just felt super happy finding makeup as my me time and finding myself and not having to share that with anybody. It's not that I'm selfish, it's just that this is for me, and this is just my alone time where I can be myself and I can really enjoy something and I can teach something and I can talk about something that I really like, really truly love. By putting a little bit of makeup or learning a new skill, you feel so empowered. That definitely did it for me, and I will never forget that moment, because I had my big belly and I was just creating. And even after my baby was born, even though I was super tired and I wanted to go to sleep, I still wanted to learn new tricks. How do I do a smoky eye? How do I combine this with this? Or, you know, what blushes to use with this type of look, and what lip color goes with what? And, you know, just mixing it up and just trying to find yourself in the makeup world, and just, you know, getting better at blending things out, and just seeing your progress was just so fulfilling for me. And that is exactly what happened with makeup. And it has been like this for, wow, so long, because now, you know, you guys see my daughter, she's 12. Okay, so the next question is, have you tried any of the small indie brands eyeshadows like Earthly Cosmetics, Oden Size, Ace Beauty, Bella Beauty Bar, Dominatrix? I've been trying a lot of different indie brands over the last 18 months, and they are killing it with their formula. Actually tried to get the Dominatrix one, and I went to their website, but they are completely sold out of a lot of stuff. And I have tried Ace Beauty or Ace Beauty, and it's okay for me. I feel like the formula, especially on the matte shadows, they are just a little bit dry. They're super pigmented, really nice, but they are just more on the drier side. Nothing really has wowed me, but I have been trying their eyeshadows for a very long time. I also tried to look into Oden's Eyes, which that is definitely a brand that I do have my eyes on, but whenever I do see reviews, just because the reviews are not like super 100% on the palette that I am searching for, I do feel like that kind of stops me, just because I don't want to try something if they are not giving it like an amazing review. Definitely Oden's Eyes is on my list of products that I want to try. All right, so the next question is, if you could only keep one cosmetic product, eyeshadow, lipstick, blush, foundation, etc., what would you choose? So I read this question earlier today and I was just like really bothered by it. Like it was going to happen, you know, like I actually needed to make a decision like right now. And that everything was just going to disappear. It was just me. It has nothing to do with your question. It was just me really stressing myself out over nothing. I would have to say that it would be a tinted brow gel. But at the same time, and the reason why I was stressing myself out so much is because I also need some kind of lip oil for my lips. I do not like to have dry lips at all. It's just very uncomfortable. So yeah, you're stressing me out, girl. But I think tinted brow gel will be nice, and maybe not. I don't know. I think that I'm going to stick with the tinted brow gel, but let me tell you, that is still stressing me out. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. I'm just so happy that this is just a pretend question. Leave it like that. So the next question is, if you could choose one makeup brand to only use for the rest of your life, which would it be? I am going to have to say, I'm going to have to say Charlotte Tilbury. Wow, I would have never thought. I was thinking of all of the complexion products. I was thinking about, you know, concealer, which I don't like her concealer, but I can still make it work. I do like the foundation. I do like the setting powder, the spray, the eyeshadows, the liners, lip liners. So like I was thinking of an overall makeup brand that I am satisfied with 100%, and Charlotte Tilbury, I think that's how you say it. So yeah, definitely a really stressful question for sure. It was very surprising. I didn't think that was a brand that I was going to choose for sure, but it's a really good brand. All right, so now I'm going to use this Merit blush just to add it to the highest points of my cheeks, and this is definitely going to give us that glow back to our skin. I'm not going to use any highlighter because I do like the glow from the blush, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I am going to just move on to the eyes. I'm using this one right here from Laura Mercier. By the way, that was the last question. I'm using this all over my lid. I'm not going to go up too high, and using a brush just to blend it. And this shade is in the shade Dark Cocoa. I'm going to add a little bit of that on my lower lashes, as you see here. All right, and now using this liner right here, which is also the Caviar eyeliner in the shade Cocoa, I'm going to use it to tie line. So I'm going to use this Tom Ford Quad, and this one I purchased from Mercari. I'm going to use this shade, this bronzy shade, this one right here. I'm going to pop it right in the center, but anything that is like champagne-y kind of shade is going to work. Just to blend the edges a little bit, I am going to take this MAC shadow right here. All right, so now I'm going to curl my lashes and add this brown mascara from CoverGirl. So I'm using the Make Up For Ever Limitless Brown Liner. Using this lipstick right here from Charlotte Tilbury, and using this one right here, which is from Makeup by Mario in the shade Soft Nude. All right, guys, and this is the final look. That is it, my friends. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. Hope that you guys like this super chatty getting ready with me doing the latte makeup. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this makeup? Did you guys like it? Did I go too much, too bronzy? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much again for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next time. Bye.